Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Ryan Prosick. The skeletal remains of a female found in December of 1994 have been identified. According to Pennsylvania State Police, the remains were discovered during a mining reclamation project off Tom Hicken Road on December 12th of 1994. State Police say the identity of the victim remained a mystery for decades despite multiple attempts to solve the case. However, through recent advancements in DNA technology and forensic genealogy, the unidentified woman has now been identified as Margaret Carol Winninger. State Police say Winninger was born in September of 1948 and attended West Hazelton High School from 1965 to 1966. According to State Police, Winninger was reported missing in the early 1990s when she was living with her family in Northeast Philadelphia. The investigation into her death is still ongoing. State Police are asking the public for any information regarding Winninger's return to the area in the early 1990s. Anyone who had contact with Winninger during this time is asked to contact Trooper Brian Knoll at 570-220-8475. Stefan Danko has been taken into custody after a heavy police presence was seen at a home on Rock Hill Road in Sugarloaf Township Tuesday morning. Police say Danko shot at 2 Uber drivers, Nicole Blummer and Mickey Caraballo, who allegedly were trespassing on his property. According to police, officers also received a call that Danko was threatening to kill Ashley Sist, who was renting a room in Danko's house. The police investigation revealed that Sist had asked Caraballo and Blummer to accompany her out of fear regarding Danko's recent behavior. Police say Blummer was Danko's girlfriend, and no one was injured in the confrontation. Several weapons were seized at the scene, including rifles and handguns. Danko has been charged with simple assault, possession of drug paraphernalia, and reckless endangerment. He is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility on $50,000 bail. Melissa Stewart is facing charges after police say she endangered a child by starting a fire with a cigarette. According to Scranton police, officers were called to the scene on the 400 block of New Street for a reported bedroom fire. When police identified Stewart at the scene, they say she appeared disoriented and claimed that her boyfriend and another person had set her clothes on fire. Investigators say Stewart also told police that someone had thrown an unknown object through a window into her room, which then set the clothes on fire. Stewart later admitted to police that she had started the fire by dropping a cigarette on a rug in her bedroom during a manic episode, according to the affidavit. Police say Stewart tried to smother the rug with clothing, which then also caught fire. Stewart has been charged with endangering the welfare of a child, making a false report to law enforcement, reckless endangerment, and other related charges. She is currently behind bars at the Lackawanna County Prison on $25,000 bail as she awaits her preliminary hearing. Police in Pottsville are searching for a missing teen. Talika Reed has been reported to be a runaway juvenile. She was last seen on Friday, February 16th. Reed is 15 years old and is known to have dark red hair and hazel eyes. She is described by police as 5 feet 3 inches tall and 100 pounds. Police say Reed has a butterfly tattoo on her right shoulder and a tattoo of Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas on her right leg. If you have any information on Reed's whereabouts, you're asked to call the Pottsville Police Department at 570-622-1234. The Hazelton Rotary held their weekly meeting today at the Pines Eatery in Hazelton. This week, the group welcomed 2 guests from the Greater Wyoming Valley Area YMCA. CEO Jim Thomas and Financial Development Officer Lindsay Landis spoke to the group about projects in the works.
So today we were invited by the Rotary Club to come and speak about our YMCA and the growth that we've had recently in the region and our future plans to reopen the Hazelton YMCA.
Landis said that YMCAs are an important part of a local community.
Our impact is felt every time a child is cared for in a child care program, every time a youth learns how to swim and we've prevented drowning, every time we've assisted with chronic disease prevention in older adults and supported families. And so the things that we do are touching people. There are special people in this region and sometimes they need help, and our YMCA provides those services to meet people where they need it most.
We also had the opportunity to talk to CEO Jim Thomas, who informed us of how people can get involved and help out their local YMCAs.
So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. You could serve on a board or serve on a committee. We have special projects and events all the time. We're right now planning for a Kentucky Derby event, which is scholarships for children to access our child care areas. You could help sell tickets, you could buy a ticket, come to the event, you can do a lot of different things.
Thomas also shared a few goals for the local YMCA right here in Hazleton.
Our goal is to have it open for September 1st, 2024 for childcare, and then our plans for Phase 2 and Phase 3 are shortly thereafter.
The Hazleton Rotary holds their weekly meetings at the Pines Eatery on West Broad Street. A man is facing charges after Pocono Township Police say he struck a victim in the face. 66-year-old David Anschow has been charged with simple assault and harassment following a domestic disturbance on February 18th. According to police, officers were dispatched to the scene on Laurel Drive in Scott Run around 11 p.m. Anschow was arrested and taken into custody. He's currently behind bars in the Monroe County Correctional Facility. A wanted man was apprehended by Bloomsburg police on February 1st. Keith Davis Jr. was taken into custody after he was seen walking on East 6th Street with Mandy Pollock around 1:30 p.m. Police say both individuals were known to have active warrants out for their arrest at the time of the incident. Davis and Pollock were both taken into custody by Officer Edgar. Davis was also discovered to be in possession of methamphetamine at the time of his arrest. Both individuals are currently behind bars at the Columbia County Prison. Davis has been charged with 1 count of possession of a controlled substance and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. A man has been charged in Bloomsburg with driving under the influence. According to Bloomsburg police, Terrence Alden was arrested following a traffic stop on January 19th in the 300 block of Murray Avenue. During the investigation, police say Alden was found to be impaired. Alden was transported to the DUI booking center where police say he refused a chemical breath test. On February 20th, Alden was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol in connection with the incident. Coming up on Wyln News, the date is announced for the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce annual job fair. Plus, the city of Wilkes-Barre issues a Code Blue designation for later this week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lorelai, and I'm 7 years old, and tomorrow is going great.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to Wyln News. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for its annual job fair. The job fair will take place on Thursday, March 21st from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Laurel Mall in Hazleton. During the event, over 20 local and regional businesses will be on hand to provide educational, career, and employment opportunities for those in attendance. The job fair is open to the public, and there is no charge for admission. Businesses still hoping to participate can contact Leanne Falabelle at the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce at lfalabelle@hazletonchamber.org. Niagara Bottling in the Humboldt Industrial Park has donated 1,000 safety vests towards the Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful and Great PA Cleanup Initiative. The event will be celebrating its 40th anniversary this year in the Greater Hazleton area. The event will be held from April 19th through the 21st. Anyone interested in volunteering can call Leanne Falabelle at the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce at 570-455-1509. The City of Wilkes-Barre has issued a Code Blue designation for Friday, February 23rd and Saturday, February 24th. A Code Blue designation is when the National Weather Service forecasts temperatures below 20 degrees or snowfall amounts of over 10 inches. During the Code Blue, the Keystone Mission Innovation Center on East Union Street will serve as an emergency shelter. Guests hoping to utilize the shelter are asked to arrive between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. and leave by 7 a.m. the following morning. For more information about the Code Blue program or to volunteer, you can contact the Keystone Mission at 570-871-4795, extension 404. Coming up on Tamako's News Choice, we look at the early NFL free agent pool and more on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, we learn about the warning signs for heart disease on this week's Wellness Wednesday. So stay right here because we'll be right back on WYLN TV.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. The Castle Auditorium Community Arts Center will be presenting the United States Air Force Heritage of America Rhythm in Blue Band at the Hazleton Area High School Friday, March 15th. Doors open at 7, concert starts at 7:30. This event is sponsored by the Pasco L. Shivo Memorial Fund of the Luzerne Foundation and the Hazleton Elks Lodge number 200. This concert is free, open to the public. Tickets can be picked up at Boscov's and Laurel Mall in Hazleton, and tickets will be available at eventbrite.com, and a limited number of tickets will also be available at the door. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of Let's Talk Sports. We're going to dive into some free agent NFL rankings today. But first off, we're going to talk about the Hazleton area boys Cougars basketball team. They had a playoff game last night, and boy did they show up. The game was delayed an hour and 15 minutes due to a scheduling mishap, but the Cougars wasted absolutely no time getting out in front, and they had an 81-41 win in the quarterfinal round. Dylan Stish scored 17, and Nikolai Santiago scored 15 for the Cougars in their big win. And they will play again in the semifinals on Thursday against Wilkes-Barre in Wilkes-Barre. So best of luck to the Cougars boys basketball team, and best of luck to the girls who play tonight. So now we're going to get into NFL quarterback free agency rankings, because we'll do this periodically until free agency starts in the beginning of March. We'll review some of the positions. I thought quarterback should have its own because the sport revolves around the position. No matter what time of the year it is, it's either you have a quarterback or you don't, and you're trying to get one. And teams that have a quarterback, it's very few and far between. So headlining this year's free agency is Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, he went from the Washington Commanders and then into the Vikings with a fully guaranteed deal. It doesn't look like they're going to give him that one again. Reports have come out about that one, and now they're nervous about giving Justin Jefferson an extension due to their quarterback situation, and it might get messy in Minnesota quick. Some fits for these guys, not just Kirk, but the guys I'm going to mention later. You have Pittsburgh looking for competition against Kenny Pickett, as Mitch Trubisky has been cut. Atlanta desperately needs a quarterback, and then maybe Tampa if Baker Mayfield walks. There's a couple interesting spots as well, including the Raiders in Las Vegas. So obviously there's a lot of quarterback needy teams, and Kirk Cousins is coming off a torn Achilles, which isn't the greatest, but so is Aaron Rodgers. And, you know, when you have a quarterback, the talent of Kirk Cousins, who is consistently underrated, he's going to get the big bucks in free agency, and he's going to deserve it, even if he's rehabbing back from his injury all off season. He could elevate a team that, you know, is a fringe playoff contender into someone that could get into the conference championship game, and you never know what happens if you get in. You could easily win. The Lions almost did it. Sadly, they didn't, but a good quarterback can take your team to new heights. And even quarterbacks of Kirk Cousins' caliber, he's not some all-pro guy that's going to go out there like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but even quarterbacks of his caliber, which are still really good, don't become available all that often, even if it's via trade. Aaron Rodgers is an exception. He kind of forced his way out of Green Bay. That situation was very, very weird, to say the least. And then you got to go back a while. Peyton Manning with a neck injury. Quarterbacks don't become available very often. Obviously, you have to throw Justin Fields into this mix as well. It looks like the Bears are going to move on with Caleb Williams. I think that's the general consensus right now. So he is going to get thrown in the mix as well. He's not a free agent, but he's definitely, with his age, going to be the number one trade target for these teams. So Kirk Cousins is the number one. Baker Mayfield's the number two. Had a resurgent season in Tampa Bay with Mike Evans, Dave Canales, Chris Godwin, Rachaad White, and company. He looked like a new quarterback. He looked like the quarterback that was drafted number one overall all those years ago. And I think he's going to cash in for a big payday with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he's going to stay. I don't know about Mike Evans. We'll talk about that in a later episode. But I think Baker Mayfield stays in Tampa Bay. And then we have Ryan Tannehill, who's been a quality quarterback for a while. Obviously, this season didn't really pan out for him, but he's been a good option. He's been consistent. He could get the job done. He's nothing spectacular, but he wins games, and he was winning games with A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry, sure, but not much else around them. So impressive stuff from Ryan Tannehill throughout his career, especially considering he was a wide receiver convert out of Texas A&M. But he could end up in Pittsburgh or Vegas, and I would not be the least bit shocked. He's not going to end up back in Tennessee after they benched him for Will Levis. And then the next group, I'm just going to group them all together, the rest of them. Jameis Winston, who was a number one overall pick in the past, and of course, he is the 30 for 30 specialist, as people call him, as 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, was just, looking back on it now, was crazy. but he is a true gunslinger at the quarterback position. We also have Joe Flacco, who revived his career on the Cleveland Browns, took him to the playoffs and looked fantastic doing so. Maybe he could be a little stopgap for a rookie coming in, maybe like a Caleb Williams if Justin Fields goes, or someone like a Jaden Daniels if they go to Atlanta. Who knows? There's a lot of spots for Flacco if he wants to play one more year, but I don't know if he does. We'll see on that one. And then Gardner Minshew, who had a great season with the Indianapolis Colts after Anthony Richardson went down. So he'll be looking for kind of the same role where he could start some games. Obviously, Anthony Richardson only played 4 in his rookie year, and Gardner Minshew might stay with his relationship with Shane Steichen. But I think he's going to depart and get one of those nice little spot starter jobs where he has the opportunity to earn the starting spot, but is in a competition to do so. So maybe Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm just throwing that one out there. But that does it for this edition of Let's Talk Sports. We'll recap the rest of the positions throughout the offseason, as we get up into free agency in early March. But we will see you all tomorrow, and have a good one.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, my beloved coach and teacher Cy Fulton is going to be on the show, so stay tuned for a lot of words of wisdom.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. We are here again with Dr. Yaqub Muhyiddin, who practices at the Health and Wellness Center as a cardiologist. And last week you heard a little bit about AFib, and we thought for Heart Month we would give you some more information. This topic we're going to talk about is women and heart disease. But let's start with, what is heart disease itself, doctor?
Heart disease in classic sense relates to blockages in the arteries of the heart. These are the arteries that lie on the surface of the heart and provide blood flow to the heart muscle and keep it beating and pumping hard to the rest of the body. Plaque, which comprises of mainly cholesterol, can build up with time and those blockages can tear off or rupture and cause a heart attack, or they can progress to being significantly causing obstruction to blood flow. Usually an artery has to be blocked more than 60 to 70% for it to cause anginal symptoms, which are chest pain or shortness of breath with activity. And that, in true sense, is called heart disease. Now, that can lead, a heart attack can lead to weakness of the heart muscle, which can cause congestive heart failure. So heart attack, coronary artery disease, congestive heart failure comprises of the most of the categories of heart disease. Then arrhythmias, as we talked about last week, like atrial fibrillation, that is also heart disease, but it's more of an electrical problem than a plumbing or a blood flow or a structural weakness of the heart muscle problem.
So is there a difference between men and women with heart disease?
There are some differences between men and women when it comes to heart disease. Women usually develop heart disease about 10 years after men do. And part of that is because with menopause, women really catch up in terms of developing and progression of heart disease with men. So that's why, the heart disease in women usually trails about 10 years compared to men. In terms of how the arteries look, in women, they tend to have more microvascular disease or plaque or narrowing of the smaller arteries. Their plaque tends to be more circumferential as opposed to focal. And the other thing is that women can often present with symptoms that are not typical. Typical symptoms of a heart attack or angina are pain in your chest, jaw pain, left arm pain, sweating episodes. These certainly are still most common symptoms in women, but women can also present with indigestion, shortness of breath, just generally not feeling well, nausea, vomiting, and that can indicate a heart attack or problems with circulation or blood flow into the arteries of the heart. In addition, risk factors, the typical risk factors for heart disease being high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, smoking, obesity. In women, if they have had gestational high blood pressure, meaning high blood pressure during pregnancy, or preeclampsia, which can happen in pregnancy, those women are more likely to go on and develop heart disease as they get older.
Wow. So this is a lot that I didn't even realize. And of course, I'm in that category. Thank goodness my blood pressure is usually good. So how can I lower my risk of having heart disease?
So there are two categories of risks for heart disease. There are categories that we cannot change. We cannot change who our parents are or what our genetic DNA is, or our age. And those are the two biggest risk factors. What we can change is making sure that we adopt an active lifestyle. If we smoke, we stop smoking, adhere to a more plant-based Mediterranean type diet, making sure we get healthy habits, which includes sleep, 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep every night is very important.
Well, thank you so much for all this great information, and I hope this is really helpful to you. Don't ignore any signs. Make sure you get your annual checkup with your doctor, and keep your heart healthy. Thank you, Dr. Mohideen, again for being here, and thanks for watching Wellness Wednesday.
And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.